Okay, everybody. So it's behind the scenes of another YaJagoff podcast. We're on Facebook Live, and hard to believe that we're getting this close to Christmas, but we know that in Pittsburgh, there are so many Pittsburgh traditions about the holidays, and Old Economy Village is one of those. So today, you're looking behind the scenes. This is a podcast that will come out on Monday on the KDK radio app, Odyssey, and then on Tuesday on YaJagoff.com. But you actually get to see it because that's audio only. You actually get to see what we're doing today.
And what we're doing is we're down with OEV. Yeah, you know me. Had to do it. I had to do it. Old Economy Village. This is the place where everybody went on their field trips. It's just up 65 for those of you like me who are challenged with proximity.
You did it right, too. It's up 65 because it's not down 65, right.
And it's just been that iconic place. Like John said, it's a tradition that everybody, often doesn't talk about. And that's why we thought we need to be here because we need to spread that tradition, make it more tradition for people. So there we are. We're here today. So we have a great slew of guests, but we're going to start, like John said, with the behind the scenes. And nobody's going to trip or fall. It's just going to be what you see, the bloopers and the mistakes and the things like that, everybody coming in and out. So we're here with Santa, but we're going to get a little history lesson right now. I don't know. It's not Santa, technically. We're getting there. So Belsnickel.
We always start the podcast with an ad about Rohrich, so here we go. Rohrich Honda houses a mega inventory of pre-owned certified cars, but like Christmas coming, the dealership in Bloomfield just received a few new CRVs, passports, and more.
Sorry, John, I didn't know you were big enough. Visit Rohrich.com for all of your vehicle needs. And now we start the YaJagoff podcast from
Old Economy Village. And so this is where you would hear some music and people saying, YaJagoff, YaJagoff, YaJagoff. And we go, everybody listening to the podcast for the first time, we always appreciate we appreciate you listening, but we also appreciate that you go and subscribe to it. Download it every week. All the cool stuff going on, as we usually say, Pittsburgh, but it's really Western Pennsylvania.
Correct. That's certainly the truth. We also urge you, we have a blog post that's up every day, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, where we call out people in Pittsburgh who either have road rage or park crazy or crazy headlines that we're checking out from throughout the various news sources. This week we saw that there were pistachios on the bus floor.
Right.
You wrote all of them.
Someone gave us a picture of a guy sitting on the back row of the bus, and he's eating pistachios, throwing the pistachios on the floor like it's not the Park House on the north side.
Yeah. Right. I couldn't remember where that was.
Would you do that at home? No,
never,
you wouldn't do that at home.
No, and actually, Alyssa on 100.7 Star had us on. She has us on every Friday, by the way, at around 10:55 or 1:55, depending on what's going on. But we declare who was the Jagoff of the week. The Jagoff of the week this week was the thief who actually in Brackenridge, who actually was caught by the police and was sitting at the at the table of where he broke in eating ice cream. That's a true story. So how can you not call
it? A homeowner got home and said, you have to leave, and he didn't want to leave.
It was like
the Brackenridge Goldilocks.
Yeah.
And then we did a video. We did our Jagged Around video on Thursday with Trooper Steve Lamani. You see him on the news all the time, giving all the PIO stuff about what's happening in Westmoreland County. But he's doing Shop with a Cop, and last year he raised over $400,000 by selling yard signs. And so we had him on. So you have to go watch that because you don't see that side of a state trooper on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
You will love the guy, and you will want to give him your $150 after you watch the video.
But here we are at Old Economy Village, and I got the head shake, nod, don't say that. I said Santa. It is not Santa. And you were supposed to show us the book, so we said it appropriately.
It's Belsnickel.
It's the Belsnickel book. Belsnickel. I didn't do the sh right. So welcome, not Santa, but Belsnickel. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm glad you guys could come down here and visit.
Well, we're so happy
in
to.
the perfect Old Economy Village Yinzer.
Well, I go out all night and I check to see who's naughty and nice, and I keep the record. And just last night I was down in Little Washington.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Well, it was pretty good.
Okay.
But a lot of people were surprised that somebody that's this German speaks with a Pennsylvania
I'm sure.
dialect.
I'm sure. So when we called here, our fabulous Tracy, who does all of our bookings, she said we would like to come get some interviews about just the authenticity and the longevity of Old Economy Village. And Katelyn said right away that you were the person whom we had to speak.
Oh, well.
So
she's a very wise girl.
She is wise. She is wise. But where are we standing? And tell us a little bit about what people can expect when they come to EOV and come over to you.
Well, this is the last remaining granary that was standing. the Harmonists built several granaries. They actually came from Germany about 1804, 1805. They wanted to go out by East Palestine and Ohio, but that was the firelands reserved for people in Connecticut. So they bought property up in Zelienople.
Okay.
Okay, so they stayed there for 10 years. Then they moved out to the banks of the Wabash, and they built what they called Harmony. Okay, and they stayed there for 10 years. They had a lot of problems, malaria and so forth. So then they came back here about 1823 or so, and they built Economy.
Okay.
Now, they were capitalist, they were Christian, they were communist, but they were celibate. So they ran out of people.
Wow. Oh, right, because they were selling. Yeah,
Because
right,
they were
right, right. You're kind of hitting them.
I was like, did
Yeah,
you get
that's
that
right.
pause,
Almost, yeah,
John?
yeah, yeah.
That's right.
So,
that's
the,
right.
so, and that was so.
What a
they-
Jagoff.
the Harmony has also a very large presence here,
Right,
but
and
yeah,
exactly. That was founded by the same outfit, and there's a lot of people like Passivant Hospital.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Passivant, he was associated with the people who lived here.
Oh,
in
I
the
did
okay,
Harmony
not know
Society.
that. Get
okay.
out.
Yeah. In
Now-
fact, when the city of Pittsburgh wanted to build a new elementary school, they borrowed money from the Harmony Society.
wow, get out of town. Wow.
I
So,
am out of
He
town.
looked at you like, you
This
crazy
is,
person.
this is Ambridge.
all
I'm
right,
out
this
of
is-
town.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Belsnickel, tell us a little bit about. You're not the traditional SANTA,
Please.
right? There's no red. There's no red.
red.
There's no white. Tell us
Brown.
about
I
your.
even have a brown mask.
I see that.
Yes,
I
we
that.
see that. So tell us about what the tradition is as far as what you're wearing today. And
Well-
for those listening to the podcast, you're in a brown kind of fur coat, dark brown with dark or light brown with dark brown trim.
Right,
And the
that's
same
right.
color hat.
That's right. Well, in Germany, Belsnickel, in some areas in Germany, would they didn't have what's his name, that guy in the red suit. They had me, okay, and I would go around and see who was on the naughty list or the nice list, and sometimes, well, the parents would say Belsnickel's watching, and if they heard scratching at the window or a noise or bells outside, they would say that's Belsnickel checking up on you. And now Belsnickel would also leave some fruit and nuts. The kids would put their shoes outside, and if they were good, so that he replaced that other guy up there.
Yeah, right. Up there.
He who shall not be named.
Right.
Right.
We keep spelling it if you didn't notice. There you go.
Yeah, that's right. So the way Old Economy Village interprets it is, I'm all dressed in brown. I'm a man of the woods, just like my counterpart in Germany, and I live in a hovel in the woods.
Okay.
I work 364 nights out of the year.
Oh, wow.
I don't get any other credit.
Wow.
But anyway, Old Economy, they have set up a bed for me back there, and if I can't get back to my luxurious hovel in the woods, I can stay here. And invariably, when we have the kids coming with the school tours, that's where I'm at, and they have to wake me up. And I'm terribly grouchy in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, I was up all night checking on see what
Right,
was
no
going on.
doubt about it, yeah.
Understood,
And
yeah.
needless to say, I'm not in a good mood. However, when I see the children smile and I hear them sing, then I metamorphose into this basically a nice guy.
Is that where the
that's
sort
so
of the cookie
cute.
idea came from? Like, or that they would wake you up with
Oh,
or
to
you would
leave a
fall
cookie,
asleep somewhere
yeah.
to leave a cookie for Belsnickel, or is
No.
that even not part of the
They
He's
German
so
never
annoyed
tradition?
with you.
Nobody leaves me any. I mean, I do all the leg work. You see, I got to wear boots just like the other guy, but his boots are all polished. Mine are sort of dull because I'm not.
You're in the woods.
I'm in the woods. I'm walking over cricks and everything else, you know. So, you know, he gets all the glory. I do all the leg work.
Wow. Now, how long have you been here
How long have I been here?
as part of Old Economy Village?
Oh, I don't know when they started. A long
Yes, it's
time
many,
ago.
many years. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, in a galaxy far away.
Yeah. And the
And-
other beauty, obviously, is that he doesn't have to worry about the itching. There's no beard.
I have a beard.
But
he
not
has to be-
like
yeah.
Well,
SANTA.
Well, now there
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I would like to have a nice, full, luxurious beard.
Oh,
like,
you would. I'm
what's
sorry.
his name up there?
trimmed by his Azu salon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember, I have to go through weeds and jaggers.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and that it would get caught. And
No
so
question.
I just have to have just a little beard.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
And
That's a
even-
great description.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course you can't even see it because I have my bronze mask on. Now, see, like you have a white mask and you have that. I have to wear a bronze mask
Yes.
because that's more or less fits in with my.
Well, and
Garb.
Rachel is our fashion consultant. She
Oh,
would
yeah.
probably call you out if it wasn't matching.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
yeah.
Or
right.
maybe she'd like a pop of color with yellow. But
Yeah.
John
that
is saying
would-
pop of color. Can we just hurry
that
up?
would
and,
not
yeah.
work. That would not work.
Can we acknowledge the fact that John just said that?
I only know the phrases. So about Old Economy Village, you're open now, and people can come down here. What are the other things? You're the highlight. You're the headliner, but Belsnickel, but the Belsnickel, the headliner. But what else can people do when they come up here, not down here?
When they come up here, well, unless they're coming from on top of the hill.
Will be true. Yes.
Okay. Well, you take a tour. You have you can see how people lived in, say, 1830. That's the area we're trying to replicate. Is 1830. We have the George Raph house. He was the founder. He was the one that brought 700-800 people over from Germany initially, and his house is there now. We have other homes that you can visit, and that would be an upper middle class home. Now, the people that worked in the society, that lived in the society, they didn't use cash. They just went to the store, and whatever they needed, they signed for, and they got it. They had no need for cash. The outside people, they would trade in cash. And what the harmonists made, they would sell in Pittsburgh through commission merchants, and then they would buy what they didn't make and bring down here. We have George Rapp's house and his son's house. You will see how luxurious they are compared to the
Is that
typical
right?
harmonist.
Okay.
How cool.
Yeah, and it's just been renovated completely. Another thing, the harmonist. You think back in 1830, somebody made it over the Alleghenies to Pittsburgh. This is a big deal, but it's getting kind of smoky and that. So they come down the river, and this is like an oasis here. Now, if there were big shots coming to town, you saw the clock tower on the church.
Yes.
Okay, the harmonist would have a brass band up there, well, at least 4 or 5, 6 people, and they would serenade them as they came into town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you want to schmooze somebody
Sure.
so they'll do business with you.
Right. Understood.
And over in George Rapp's house, again, they have like pianos that were hauled by Conestoga wagons over the mountains and so forth. So this was really an oasis. They also had the first natural history museum west of the Alleghenies. Now, when they broke that up a little bit, some of the material did end up going to what would become the Smithsonian Institute.
Get out.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting
How about
out.
that? It's a Pittsburgh word, non-SANTA. So you are the plethora of wealth. We need people to come because this stays open as the holiday
Right.
hub until when? The end of December?
The end of December, then we're going to be closed for about 4 months, and we open up in April.
Okay.
Now, when we do open up in April, we have the Penn State Master Gardeners come, and they maintain the gardens for us.
We are. We are.
That's really something that you want to see.
Yes.
Come down and see that. And this place was just renovated,
Yeah.
and the windows were painted, and the new roofs. We're all handicap accessible now.
That's fabulous.
So, and that was
So get
always
here.
a big handback,
Yeah, right.
drawback, so.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's a lot to do in the feast hall. They used to have, we have a blacksmith shop. Sometimes we'll have a blacksmith working like today. We have a cabinet shop. Sometimes we'll have somebody in there. We have the community kitchen because with the heat and everything,
Sure.
they would cook outside and they would have communal meals sometimes up on the second floor of what we call the feast hall, and that's why they call it a feast hall. But that's
Okay.
where the museum was and some other uses for that building. We have a schoolroom over there, and we would even have kids write with a what do we call it?
Quill?
Yeah, quill. Yeah.
All
quill.
right.
Yeah.
You
quill.
didn't even
Boom.
take you
10
didn't even
points
do
for
anything
John.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, they can write. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Look
So
at you.
he's showing, for those on the podcast, he's showing us a quill. So, Belsnickel, what would be your greeting when you say hi to kids or when you say goodbye to the kids? Anybody.
When you're
greeting
meeting
you?
or greeting.
Well, when I'm meeting, when I'm in a good mood.
Yes.
After I've seen them
They wake you
smile
up.
and
Sure,
they
sure.
wake me up, and I'm happy. And then I just welcome them here, and then we go over the naughty and nice list with the kids.
Okay.
And I especially like today because I get to go over the naughty and nice list with adults. And that throws in a completely different
Oh, for
complexion.
sure,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
So-
Well, you were the first German, non-SANTA, but Belsnickel that we've ever met. So what we do on the YaJagoff podcast is we ask a question of the day. Is that okay to ask you?
That's all right.
All right. So when you are decorating for Christmas and you have a tree, number one, is it real or fake?
It's real.
Okay. And the real tree, is it decorated Yinzer style with tons of stuff on it, or do you do the elegant route?
Well, like
Come on, don't
Yinz.
disappoint me.
Yes.
Yinz.
So it's
Yinz.
Yinzer. I love it. So Belsnickel has a Yinzer tree. You heard it here.
That's right. And for water, so it doesn't dry out, I go down to the creek and get water.
There you
Nicely
go.
done. Well done. All
Thank
right,
you so
Belsnickel,
much for
thank
your
you so
time. We're
much
going to
for-
pick up all of our
Yeah,
equipment
here
and
we
head
go.
down
We'll take
here.
We'll let
Thank
you
you
get back
so
to
much.
seeing. There you go.
Now, I leave sticks where Belsnickel used to wallop kids in the old country. I can't do that anymore.
Okay.
So
Well, that's good.
I tell the children if they see sticks in their front yard, they didn't blow off a tree. It was me. I was there and I left them, so they know I was checking up on them. And if a child is on the naughty list, I inform them early enough that they have time to get over on the nice list. So what's his name up there? he can come and give them the
Do
goodies.
his thing.
And this is my naughty and nice book. If we have a couple more
Oh yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right.
Okay.
I didn't know we were showing it.
Oh my God! I'm afraid I'm going to see my name.
What's
Yeah.
your name, young
You want-
fella?
Yeah, it's John. John Chamberlain.
Yeah, sure.
How about
Here, I'll
he
hold
gives
this
his
for
full?
you.
He's like
Yeah,
with the
hold that
C
for
for
me.
the middle initial,
All right,
and I was
let's see,
born in
let's see.
1964.
Let me scrutinize my impeccable records here. You don't live in Greensburg, do you?
No.
I'll tell you what, that John that lives in Greensburg, he is so much in trouble, he'll never get off the naughty list. But let's see. Nope. There you are. You're on the nice list.
Oh my gosh! Thank God. Tell my mom.
No. How about you, young lady?
Rachel.
Rachel.
I mean, I see it right there. I'm always good. Yeah. I'm always nice.
Everybody says
Look, he
that.
looks in the letters are actually there. That's just, I
Well,
love
certainly they're there.
Yeah.
What do you think
Tell
I'm
her to stop
doing here?
blowing your cover, Belsnickel.
I mean, I'm the real
this.
deal. I'm not.
really
Live in a
are, you
fantasy
really
world,
are.
for God's sakes, Rach.
Well, let's
Right.
see. I have to cross-reference you. I have you in a couple places.
it. I think you have us mixed up, big guy.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't look good.
Of course, you make him the nice person.
Oh,
He's always the nice person.
So, for those listening to the podcast, he's covering his eyes. He can't find anything good right now.
Oh, there you are. There you are. You're on the nice list. I'll tell you what, it was a close call,
It's because I have two A's in my name.
but
You
you're
couldn't
on the
find
nice
it.
list. Very
Thank
good.
you. We appreciate
Belsnickel,
it.
All right.
Get to
you're
the
our
OEV,
favorite. Yeah.
right? Old Economy Village, and visit the Belsnickel book and check on your naughty or nice status. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey,
Merry
thank you very
Christmas.
much.
That was
Merry-
fantastic. All right, so we are going
Colin's
to
gonna lift us
pick up
up.
and move all of our stuff and hopefully still stay live on the internet.
You know I was going to be mad if I was.
All right, here we go. Moving.
Okay. Again. Are you so mad?
Whoop.
Ooh, are you okay?
Yep. All right, you just keep going down. Oh, no. Go right there. Right down there.
Oh, you want me to
Yep.
stop?
Just
Do you want
keep
me to-
coming down. There you go. And we'll follow all the wires. And we'll just all fall into place.
I just don't know what he's asking me to do because.
Just go down there to that seat. Just follow
Okay.
like you're
okay.
getting in a church pew. I don't know.
I just feel like I'm getting in the.
All right, here we go. Rach. All right, so
I'm
the
dying of heat.
what was our music we just heard?
John, it's a bowed psaltrey. I know you wanted me to be the one to say it because I double checked how you actually say it. You learn something new every day on the YaJagoff podcast. We found out, thanks to Tracy when she booked this, that there is a unique thing called a bowed psaltrey. And who knew what it was? But it looks like a harp. I looked it up. It looks like
Okay.
a harp, and it's
Thank
back
God.
in the time that OEV, all these
Do
things.
that again.
You down with OEV? Yeah, you know me. Oh, John,
All
that was
right.
bad.
Here we
All
go.
right, who
All
we
right, we
talking
need
to?
we
John
need the
Craig.
Clorox wipes, if you don't mind, Tracy. I think I left them up there.
That was
All right.
fun talking to the Belsnickel book guy that's not Santa. So next we get to talk to one
John
of our
Craig.
really good friends, John Craig.
He's from a place called John Craig Media. I don't know how he ever named it that.
I know, that's a tough name,
Yeah,
JCM.
bizarre.
So we're excited to talk to him because it's one of those things, as we explain often, that John and I have a bullpen of people when we meet them who we want to have on the podcast. And what happened was we worked with John, I think it was in the summertime, right? With our Truly event. Is that what it was?
Summertime.
I'm sorry, my water like spread out. But we met with him. He was fabulous to work with. And we said, we need to get you on the podcast. And then life happens. So here we are. We at least got him in 2021.
Listen, he's so excited that we brought him to Old Economy Village.
OEV.
Yeah. I mean,
With
I saw it.
JCM.
He didn't say that, but I saw it in his eyes. So,
With
John
JCM.
John Craig Media, welcome to the YaJagoff Podcast. YaJagoff?
Well, thanks, guys. I've been jagoffing for a long time.
You really have.
Did you
really
get in
have.
line for Belsnickel yet?
I did. I'm officially on the good list.
Oh,
okay.
I'm
Did he check it
officially-
out for
I'm
real?
on
Yeah.
the good list for sure.
Okay.
He was tough. You know,
sure.
I joke, John, you'll learn real quickly. I joke that everybody loves John Chamberlain. They think he's the nicest guy. I always get the short end of the stick. So when he was like making it like I wasn't good, I was going to be irritated, just so you know. There's always a competition with us. I mean, and you sort of know that, John, as we said, like we were so excited to meet you. We knew who you had worked with, that we knew, obviously you've worked with so many people throughout the city, but you know, we had mentioned Chic Influencer because we know those ladies. They've been on the podcast a couple of times. Natalie's been on the podcast a million times. So that's where we had seen you the most. But we know you've worked with so many different iconic Pittsburgh people. And here we were working with Truly, and we got to work with you. And it was you made it so simple. I think that was the coolest part, right, John? Because it could be a little bit like, oh, polarizing. Like, we know this guy he's worked with some of the best. And now we have to do this shoot with him. And wasn't it fabulous? John?
Yeah.
was
No, I
gonna say,
thought
that
he was
was
going to say
fabulous.
something. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Well, you guys were great to work
I thought you were asking him
No,
something.
I was asking
with.
you.
I
Thank you.
am the luckiest cameraman in all Pittsburgh.
Why do you say that?
Because meeting people like you,
Aw.
meeting the ladies at 100.7, and
Yes.
getting behind the scenes and getting to know everybody.
Yeah.
So I am the luckiest cameraman in Pittsburgh.
And start there. What is cameraman like in Pittsburgh? I mean, is it something different all the time? And has that changed?
Okay. Yes to everything.
Yeah.
So for me, I do what we did that day together. So I am known for a run and gun type of thing. So
Okay.
when you only have a little bit of time and you need
Yes.
something turned around.
Okay.
And video and cinematography and media is so fast now.
Yes.
So I'm good at that.
Yes.
I just luckily I've been doing this like almost 30 years now. I've been doing it since college.
Wow.
I've worked
Like
with the
you back to
camera.
like the VHS kind of big camera on a shoulder kind of thing?
No, because half of my
How's
career
that?
is just photography. So the
Get real close. Get real close.
Oh, so the idea was I've just always worked with a camera. So I joke about it, but my old age, speed is a big selling point, you know.
Yeah.
So I can get things done quickly.
Well-
go on to the next.
Right.
And you know, that's where like my line of questioning is that, you know, what has been social media has been a godsend to people who do video, right? And so social media is one aspect of video, but vlogging, I guess, is still, and website videos, all of that stuff has made your business explode, but you still have to be leaner now, right?
Exactly.
point,
You
yeah.
have to be a jack of all trades. Like I am a blue collar working artist. I think about this. Like my father was an electrician. He would get up every day, put his clothes on, grab his tool bag, and go to work. I'm exactly the same thing. I get up, just this blue collar working artist, and I always have to work in tight, quick environments, type of thing. So I have a very small kit. You know, most of the time I don't get to come in and pre-light or pre-mic or anything like that. So just luckily, so you need to know your skills. You need to know your tools really well. And luckily, I do.
Does that make the sort of like the thrill of the challenge even more so in the sense like you really don't know going in, like you have to roll with the punches kind of thing?
Right, like the Truly commercial.
Yes,
that
right.
day. I didn't even
You
know
didn't
you
know
guys
us.
were going to be there.
Right. I remember. Yeah.
I didn't even know that you guys were going to be
We
there.
didn't know either. No, they found us on a bus. No, no.
But it
No,
was-
but I liked how when we were doing that, like you're just like, grab that chair, go sit on this, and go do this,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
go move this, go and whatever, and you know, just watching it all happen, you gather everything you can, and somewhere out of the wall, somewhere out of that, you get 10, 20 seconds of a good clip that, but it's sort of like, I guess, as a photographer used to, they have to shoot so many rolls of film to get these 4, great shots. But the video is just keep videoing everything because you're not sure when you don't want to miss anything that happens, right?
That's a good point.
So it's a double-edged sword because it's improv filmmaking.
Okay.
That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
As I'm filming, I'm doing the edit in my head, type of thing.
Yes.
So, but it's very, very improv. So I talk a lot.
Yes.
When I'm working with people to get the character, to get the response, to figure out who can do what.
Sure.
Out of this audience that I'm currently.
But does
working
it
with.
change? Can it change? So what your vision is and what you're sort of, like you just said, improving at that time. When you go for the edit, does that change completely or no? It can't.
It's both.
Yeah.
So because you don't. Most of the time when people hire me, they'll simply say I want a 30-second spot or a 60-second spot. So it's my job to write the script. I'm
really?
writing, I'm directing, I'm figuring all these things out. I'm the gaffer. I'm carrying,
Right.
I'm carrying all the gear.
Yeah, you're drinking Truly.
I'm drinking Truly. I'm doing all of that stuff. So my job at the end is just to deliver that 30 seconds, that 60 seconds, that
Right.
2 minutes that communicates the message and hopefully makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Right.
So the bulk of my work, I'm either going to make you laugh or I'm going to make you cry.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
goal.
No.
So here's my question: is do you make sure you get enough work so that you do not have to shoot weddings?
So I did weddings as a photographer
Yeah?
for like 15 years.
I feel like so many people did.
It
You
just
have
seems
to.
like such a hot press kind of business, like
But that's
high
why-
pressure.
Well, it is. But if I didn't do that, I couldn't do what I do today.
Well, good point. Okay.
Yeah, because the whole improv filmmaking comes from that volume of weddings.
Right.
Okay.
That's a
you-
good point.
You can't miss. So
Right.
Okay.
that's my golden ticket. So when everybody complains about the wedding industry, I'm just like, just the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't do that, I couldn't do this.
That makes good sense.
Does
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So when I'm working with, like if there's like a Netflix crew in town and I get to talk to those cameramen, it takes these guys, days to get, the 2-minute shot or something.
Yeah.
But there's just a whole slowness to it, and I'm just the opposite.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
We get asked this question because, as I think you know, like we do the YaJagoff podcast, but we have YaJagoff Media, which encompasses so many different things. So we're creating content. We're helping with social media. We're helping with PR campaigns and things like that. We call ourselves second in to a lot of marketing companies. For you, with John Craig Media, it all just sort of clicked for me. You aren't just a cameraman. You're doing all those things just the same. Talk about that, and at what point you realized that you were all encompassing.
Well, I call myself a content creator, or
Right.
content producer.
Would agree. Yeah.
So the idea is like when someone just says videographer, like I cringe.
I bet. Yes.
I cringe
Yeah.
because I don't want to be pigeonholed, type of things. But obviously, a camera is like my weapon of choice. It's what I'm good with.
Sure.
But I've always been lucky that I grew up as a musician. I'm a guitar player. I came out of the womb playing guitar practically.
Okay.
So when I'm making videos, I'm thinking of it like a song because I have to communicate this, and there's a beginning, middle, end to everything that I'm doing. So I ask a lot of questions, and luckily, I don't know, I just, when you're a kid, I wanted to be in Springsteen's band, and I guess you just should have wanted to be in Grishecki's band. And I would have taken that in a heartbeat too.
Right.
To be number 2 in Grishecki's band, that would have been awesome. But so anyways, I always wrote, so my course, like I'm a longtime journaler type of thing. So I'm really good with a pen, I'm good with a camera, and I'm good at finding a response out of an audience type of thing.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So,
Which is really an odd thing in that because you really get no response from a video on social media. You like a comedian, you wouldn't hear the response. I guess so. That's really odd that that you don't get that, but you still produce.
Right.
It's just odd that you don't get that feedback.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously your clients, but
Yeah.
it just a comedian is in need of that applause to keep rolling.
Well, so am I. It's
Yeah.
all game day.
Right.
It really
Right.
is game day. It's like when we shot that day, it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and that's almost 99% of my work is what we did that day.
So what happens on the chance that somebody is not used to coming to perform, essentially, or they're new to this, or what are some of the tricks of the trade that you have to kind of do to ignite that?
Questions. I ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I let everybody know, like, you're only going to see the greatest hits.
Yeah, right.
So-
Yeah, you're not going to fail. You're not going to let yourself fail.
Right.
Yeah.
So I let people be vulnerable. I let people be honest, type of thing. But I just constantly reassure.
Yeah.
So in my private life, I'm a quiet person. But like on game day when I'm working, like I am talking.
Yeah.
I am talking.
We had to
all
wear
the time.
earplugs. He would not. You think he's quiet?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, so I have when you're out there doing this, you get this feel, like you said, you see the edit. So it's like a sculpting kind of happen, like an ice carver, because
Yeah, like watching.
But so when you're doing that, there's obviously some great things. You go like, what's one of the greatest things? You go, oh my God, I didn't believe I captured that. And then on the opposite of that is, which one is like, that's a great scene. Oops, there's my finger in the lens or something like that. Do you have any of those kind of things?
I have a lot of stuff where I'm talking too much.
Okay.
And I have to delete it because it's my
Yep.
voice too much.
Okay.
So that happens a lot. And yeah, I mean, like every working cameraman has a whole portfolio of the greatest misses.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest misses. And it's actually a wedding shot. I was shooting right next to the Civic Arena, whatever that Catholic church is. That Red
Oh, yeah.
Catholic
Oh,
church.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
I know.
They had no power. It was just the power went off. It was a really hot day, and there was no power. And then right when they lit the Unity candle, the power came back on at that exact same moment.
No.
But there was this grandmother, like this 99-year-old grandmother, that literally did the praying hands and had this beautiful expression, and I completely missed it.
Oh
And it would
my
have been
God.
like the greatest
Yeah, yeah.
iconic shot.
Yeah.
Right, but you'd live to tell.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is. So it's the
you
shot
can
I tell
describe it.
everybody.
You can at least describe
But
it.
on the and finally, I'm sorry. Did you go? Do you want to? So, corporations. So we know what you do this for Laura Early, Natalie Bensavenga, and 412 Food Rescue. How should a corporation, if they haven't turned this corner in a video yet,
Yeah, that's
what
good.
should they be looking at doing? Hiring a person like you to come in and help with their corporate content.
So the quick answer is, when I'm talking to businesses, I think of a business social media is just the interactive yellow pages. It's that simple. So if you're not telling
good
your
point,
story
yeah.
every single day, no one knows you're open for business.
Right.
So you just have to go out there and you tell that story. And the nice thing about video now, which is so lovely, is now you can get this archive of information, and you can use the video so many different ways. So you can use the video to attract new customers, but then you can also use the video for your most commonly asked questions. So, and then you can, you use it on your website, your social media, your newsletter, your email blast. So a lot of times I tell people it's one product with multiple outcomes.
So yeah, right. So when you're pitching a cost, you're not pitching a cost to get a picture you're going to hang in the lobby. You're getting a video that can be used 3-4 different ways.
Right. And
Yeah.
most likely like 3, 4 to 5 different years.
Ah.
Too, you can keep it going. So it's not a one and done thing, hardly ever with me.
As far as social media goes, and anytime we talk to journalists in the city, or especially journalists in the city, because they are so tasked with, they're giving you the news content, but then they have to be on that social media aspect, like you were saying, nonstop. But you're right, it is telling the story, and you're basically in control of it, which is the beauty of it. What do you prefer as far as an outlet? Like John hates Facebook, but we use it, right? He's a Twitter guy. I can't stand Twitter. What do you find yourself using most? Instagram?
Facebook is my go-to.
Is it really?
Is that right?
It is my go-to.
The usability. I called Leslie a nutritionalist, and now I'm just using words.
All right.
I don't know why. I built an audience there.
Yeah.
And so I just
Right.
kind of stuck.
Well, you kind of,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I feel
and
that way too,
Like
yeah.
Rachel tell you, I say, well, we have to live there because a large
yeah.
portion of our audience is there. But for me personally, to get information off it, it takes for me forever to get whatever I want out of
Yeah,
it. But
I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Now, and when you see like things like Instagram Reels or TikTok and these kind of things, you obviously have to prepare to do that. But you're also still going to be the guy. You're the guy that was here before Vine. Vine left, and now you're here, still here. So you have to kind of prepare yourself to get those little hits and know how to use those pieces, but still keep the foundation of what you really do, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very rarely that I'll film specifically like for a story or film for a reel. I do that occasionally, but the stuff that I do is more like marketing films.
Right.
And they're curated content pieces.
Yeah.
So I hate the idea of things just dying. If I create something, it only gets 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's a great
I don't
point.
get it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like that's
Right.
horrible.
But then
So-
that makes you tasked for how do you, like you said, how do you carry that on?
Yeah. I don't have a good answer for that.
It's just tough. It's
for me, like the reels are all behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things like
right.
Sure.
that.
Okay.
That's how I think about it. But it's still a part of business.
Yeah.
You know? And the idea is micro content too. So a lot
Sure.
of the things I do, we end up chopping up into. I work with an ad agency, making like 6-second commercials, 12-second commercials. And when I was hired to do this, I'm like, this is the dumbest idea ever. But it works. I've watched this guy, take businesses and with these micro contents, like a 6-second commercial, and you might make like 30 of them. You cut them up. And it's a creative challenge.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sure.
really,
right.
really hard.
It's always
Sure.
harder to be less than more, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe in subtraction and creativity very, very much, but it works.
Yeah.
These micro content.
That's
Wow.
It's
good
a
word.
wonderful thing.
So there again, another corporate.
I might steal that word.
As corporations are
I say it
looking,
right.
even small to medium-sized corporations are looking, businesses are looking to go down this path. You can take them down that path. You can kind of tell them, here are the case studies I have that will help you sell your plumbing, your ventilation, whatever it is,
Right.
kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What project are you working on now that we need to know about?
Tell us something secret that nobody knows.
Well-
make up one.
Okay, makeup.
JK.
I'm launching the Metaverse. I'm very excited.
Okay.
about this. But that is my secret project.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Is working on content for the Metaverse and the NFTs, and I'll be spending the next year like educating myself
That's so
to
cool.
be game
Right.
day ready whenever they're actually building it right now, so
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued.
That is
but
cool.
the biggest thing I'm actually most proud of over this last year is a project I did with Natalie Bangsabanga, the Heating Up series.
Yep.
So it's a YouTube show. It's about social justice and plant-based cooking, and I want everybody in Pittsburgh to go see it. Natalie did a wonderful job. I was really thankful to be part of the team on that one.
Well, it's shot very well.
It
Thank
is
you.
shot very
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing I'm plugging.
All
the
right.
most.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we've
Heating
been
up.
plugging it as well. So we'll make sure that we get that back in route. Now, real quick, before we get to the question of the day, so you touched on music, which, is huge for us. So you're born and raised
I
here?
am.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of music were you playing out of the womb?
Out of the womb.
Yeah.
Springsteen.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
your kind of genre.
That's my genre
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to have to task him on being we should have known. You could have been our musician today. I mean, in
Right.
addition to the bowed psaltrey. Do you know what that is?
Uh-uh.
So it's
Sounds
We're
nice.
about
it
to
does
learn.
sound nice. I
does
know.
sound nice.
We have a musician on every podcast, and they said here at Old Economy Village that they had someone who is the bowed psaltrey person, and I was like, I don't know what that
Which
means, so I
sings-
googled it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it is a very, very small harp is basically what it looks like.
okay.
Yeah, it almost looked like a saw, to be honest with you.
And if you
Yeah,
follow
kinda cool.
the Jagoff podcast, you'll know that the harp is one of Rachel's
It's my
favorite.
favorite
but
instrument.
the bowed psaltrey is far different than the psaltrey bowed person. That's completely different. That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
right,
my
right.
gosh, John Craig, we have to have you on more often, and we say that to some people. We don't say it to everybody, but we have to have you on more often because you're always you're making Pittsburgh look better, and we appreciate such the dynamic that you bring. So
Well,
thank you so
guys.
much.
It's
Yeah.
a joy, man. So
Yeah.
much fun.
Well, it was
Where
a
does-
blast. We have to tell you, it was a blast
was
to
so
work
much
with
fun.
you. When we went
Yeah.
We were
downtown,
drinking,
we're just
too.
yeah,
That always
right.
helps.
It was
It
fun. It was fun.
But the second time we weren't, and that was still good. So
And
you were
everything was
safe.
in focus. That's
you
how
were
good
safe.
I am.
Yeah, right. There you go. Where does everybody follow you and find you so that they know more about you?
JohnCraigMedia.com I know it's an old school website, but it's still the hub for everything.
Yeah.
If you want to spend some time and watch a whole bunch of videos and look at a whole bunch of photos, it's a great website. I'm really proud of it. Facebook, Instagram,
Just John Craig.
John Craig Media.
Yeah.
We follow you.
And
I just
again,
don't
if
know.
you're a small business and social media is a quagmire
Check 'em
for
out.
you, John Craig Media will help you do that. So let's appreciate you
We
coming
need
on
a
the
YaJagoff
podcast.
project.
Yes,
so
right.
We shoulda.
Yeah,
Right.
What you think
You
is
know?
something.
Let's find it something
Let's
for
find
charity.
time.
Question of
That's
the
a
day?
great- That's a great idea.
Let's find a charity.
Are
and
you
do
ready for our
something good.
question of the day
Okay.
challenge?
I am ready for your question.
All right. Well,
of
you
the
kind of
day.
heard it with the non-SANTA. So, are you a real tree guy or an artificial tree guy?
I am the guy that gets the tree out of the attic
Okay.
into place, and then I sit on the sofa.
All right, but then that's stage one. But what does it get decorated? Is it Yinzerish with like all kinds of stuff, or is it really elegant?
It's more on the elegant side.
Okay.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
take no credit for that.
Yeah,
because
you're on the couch.
So you're
We get
drinking
it.
a beer. All right.
get
Yeah.
it.
Or a truly. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
John
Thank
Craig,
you so
thank
much,
you so
John
much.
Craig.
We appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah.
guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
Cool.
All right, so Colin will get a video of this is where Facebook world sees that Colin gets a video of John. Well, they don't see that part. And then we are going to bring our friend Leslie on because listen, she's becoming more of a staple than me. I think it's going to be John and Leslie on the YaJagoff podcast anymore. So come on in, Leslie.
All right, Leslie, come on in here. So this is Leslie Bonci. Oh, yeah, come on in. Oh, I'm sorry. We trapped your stuff. Oh, yeah.
You're fine. Just be careful. Okay. Sorry, we moved your...
Oh, wait a minute. You have Edgar Snyder's phone number?
No.
He's been on the podcast, though.
But he never said, and we have Jagoffs for you. So we need to get that. We need a commercial done.
Never a fee unless we get
Jens Jagoff.
That's right. That's right.
Classic. I love it.
So here we are. We have Leslie Bonci coming in. And as you know, every couple of weeks on YaJagoff.com, there's a G-Check well, every week there's a G-Check column.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks there's a G-Check column by the Leslie Bonci.
Yeah.
And then she comes on the podcast.
She's so used to us at this point where we were like, Leslie, it'll be every 5 weeks. And then we're like, wait, it's not. It's now. And she has to be ready because she knows that's how we operate. She's gotten used to it.
We all operate by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
The way
Isn't
that
it the
is.
truth?
No.
It is so true anymore. Like, COVID did this to us. We're all just like, whatever. It is what it is, and you figure it out. Yeah.
So before we start our interview with Leslie, we just have to tell you that you'll see her today on Facebook Live.
Yep.
But tomorrow you could see her on Facebook Live as well with her new program called Sass and
Saffron and Sass. Do you
And
want us
that
to
will-
sing
Guess
you
who
the
the
jingle?
sass is.
That will be on the Sprezzatura Facebook page tomorrow at 10
a.m.
10 a.m.
Thank God I had the info, huh?
Yeah, how about
You were
that?
just feeding it to me.
Yeah. All right. So now here we are. You're on the podcast, and we're getting ready for the holidays. And Leslie, I know Rachel has already put an agenda together to talk about, but when we're done with that agenda, I do have a major question for you that I ask myself every day, and I ask Rachel every day. But let's go with the agenda first, Rachel.
But we do this to Leslie every time. We have our scripted stuff, and then we go, oh, we have to ask her this. Right? So it's okay that you do that because it is off the cuff. But
So who can I enroll in the Naughty and Nice book?
I
I'm just
don't-
asking that question right now.
Oh,
when it comes to
are you
well,
sending in
right
names?
now,
Are you sending in
Naughty and
votes?
Nice.
Leslie, I don't know. Between the two of us, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that them? Huh. Those are the only ones we saw.
Those were the only ones we saw.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Colin, do you see shoes anywhere?
Not
Other
those.
than those?
Those were the only shoes I saw.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Hi, John. Good to see you. Bye. Nice to meet you. All right. We'll go back to our interview.
There we go. So,
Welcome to the behind
so
the scenes.
what your question was?
So we have to talk, obviously, about the fact that I want to take you back because we had Leslie on a podcast just because, and that led to, she was one of those people that we just said about John Craig, that she intrigued us so much. We were like, how much more can we do with you? So we are working on a couple other things, but one of the things that we've been working on is Saffron and Sass. That's sort of like, I don't know. It was so, I hate the term organic because we all use it so often, but it was so organic. We sat down and we had 2 sessions on what we wanted to do, and it was born. So basically, we had our first episode. You got some media attention, and from the first episode, what happened?
So from the first episode, I actually got a couple clients out of it. I was so
Crazy.
thrilled. People that just wanted to meet with me because they heard it.
And
about
don't you
that?
love that?
Sass is where it's at when I'm trying to make changes to eating. I need somebody who's a smart ass. Well, Leslie, there it is.
There you go. Bada boom. And now we're done. No, but so in case you don't know, the saffron part is actually Jen Saffron from Sprezzatura. Everyone, talk about organic. She has truly grown her business wonderfully. And she's ironically part of, she shares the space in Millville with 412 Food Rescue folks who John Craig was just talking about. So interesting how that all sort of comes together. But Jen has this amazing look on food, and it made sense for the two of you to work together. What's your take on the first one? I mean, it's great that you got clients, but
You know what? It's just kind of the idea of eating is so necessary, and
Yeah.
eating brings people together. It's not
Yes.
supposed to be divisive. That's not what it should be. And certainly what they do at Sprezzatura is really taking care of the community, opportunities in the community to nourish well, which is so important for
Yeah.
all of us, right? And not just this time of the year, every time of the year, but especially now.
yeah, that's so true. And I think you're right. I think it was serendipitous that we started when we did. However, what a better time, because you're right. Because I would assume that one of your, and we do this to you all the time, I assume one of your most asked questions are, but at holiday time, people do overeat. Let's face it, right? So what happens, and I don't want to use the cliche like, oh, what's the most frequently asked at holiday, but What is it that they're so worried about? Like the overeating?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I eat the pies, they're on my thighs. I mean, this is what happens.
This is
is
what she
people
does. I love it.
automatically assume that what they eat is going to translate to two of them. And the problem is that all that stuff has been written for years. Oh, the average person gains 10 pounds between Halloween and New Year's. No, they don't. They don't do that. I mean,
Really?
maybe it's a couple of pounds. It isn't necessarily that much. Who has that kind of time to just eat 24 hours a day? I don't.
That would literally be
Like,
eating
making
and not
food for
moving
the
at
holiday,
all, right?
Who has time?
Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't
right.
make you feel better. She actually made us feel better this time.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I only
that's
gain
issue number
8,
one.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Issue number 2, and I over the years of having always done the interviews and media stuff on, how can people eat healthier at the holidays? My brother, when he was alive, always used to say, you are like the Grinch. You can ruin any holiday with saying that people should have kale over chocolate or whatever it is. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, right.
Who wants to mess around with their favorite recipes? Oh, let's make it with non-fat, tasteless something.
Yes.
Said no one ever.
Said
right?
no one.
Do that. Don't want to do that.
Your punchlines are the best. Like
They are.
And why should we be doing that?
Why
it's
should we?
supposed to be enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah.
this is it. But I think what happens is, people really approach this like the Last Supper. I'll never again have those cookies, so I better eat 5 dozen of them right here, right now.
That's me.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And you don't even
Yeah.
enjoy it when you're shoveling them in and they're shooting out of your ears. Think about that as a visual. They are Christmas cookies shooting out of your ears.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. Don't have to do that.
That's such a good point. It is a good point. And you said that even on the last episode of Saffron and Sass when you were talking about, let's face it, when we were thinking about what we were going to do for December, let's face it, no one is really, that guilt somehow goes away in December. Because you're right, maybe they're thinking to January, but ultimately no one is sitting down and eating kale. We're not.
No.
Yeah.
No, not even fried.
Yeah, no.
Because it just
It's just,
isn't
I don't even know if
even
that's
on
good.
the list. But but that kind of this and all the time for people that are doing all the prep, and you want to give to other people. That's what we do at the holiday time. And if you're the recipient of that, you don't want to offend people. I'm sorry, I'm gluten-free, taste-free, lactose-free, whatever.
just
Could
stop.
you give me a carrot stick?
Taste-free.
No, that's the snowman,
No.
and that's what you put as the nose.
Oh, seriously. I asked her if I could move in with her, but apparently that's the spot's
You'll have
taken.
to ask Fred.
What is your big question?
So my big question is we walk in the morning, we try to exercise, but I am literally hungry 24 hours a day.
He's been
Leslie.
telling me this. He's so hungry.
I'll eat whether it's a donut or 2 donuts and a glass of milk, or whether I eat a bowl of oatmeal with strawberries and bananas. Within an hour, I'm ready to eat a side of a horse. And it's all day long. And then I figure, at night I'm doing some work and I should probably, my son says, don't eat, do
After
the
a certain
fasting,
time.
after 7 o'clock or something like that. But I'm literally starving. And I'm like, wait, I had this today, and why am I still starving?
He's drinking water also. 'Cause
Yeah, I do drink. I probably
Yeah.
drink like 5 bottles of water every day. So I don't get it why, I just feel like I'm always hungry.
So
Okay,
answer him and make it better.
Yeah, so first part of that is
Like, just sew your
is
mouth
that
shut.
You're not actually drinking enough liquid over the day.
Okay.
surprisingly. For men, it is 3.7 liters. So roughly it's about 15 cups of fluid. So you're probably needing to be somewhere 6-7
Okay.
bottles of water a day. That's issue number 1, because
Okay.
that actually takes up room in the stomach.
Okay.
Number
Tell Willie
2
to add to my order
is
on
that
Walmart.
even when you said I'm doing the oatmeal with the fruit or doing 1 or 2 or 25 donuts or, whatever.
Yeah.
I just kind of exaggerated there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what
You
are
didn't.
the things that keep us fuller longer between meals?
Yes.
Number 1 is having some protein. So donuts are not typically high protein. Franco
Right.
had that company a long
Yes,
time ago.
right. That was- yeah.
So, like oatmeal, and then you put yogurt in it and maybe some nuts on it, and that gives you the protein, and that's going to keep you fuller for longer.
Yeah, okay.
Secondly, it's more fiber as part of every meal. And again, not high fiber donuts. It's like, no, let me have that with a serving of bran. It's like,
Yes.
ugh.
Right.
But, those things make a difference because that will keep you fuller for a longer period of time, and then you're not quite as hungry.
But what's a good example of fiber?
So fiber, definitely fruits and vegetables are things like a wheat bran or an oat bran mixed into your oatmeal, something like a bean soup or beans on a salad. Those are all excellent sources of fiber, and they will make you feel fuller because the fiber draws the fluid into the stomach, and that's part of that fill up, not fill out factor.
Yeah,
So
I
there
like
we
it.
go.
Okay.
You know
and then
what
the
that
other
means.
part of that, like this eating after 7 o'clock. Heard it forever, and it makes me crazy because what is happening at 7:05?
Colin
Oh
Chamberlain.
my God, here it comes. The food is just accumulating everywhere on my body where I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
And then you wake up in a fit of hunger in the middle of the night, devouring your pillow. Why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
it's-
interesting.
Is
Did that
is peanut butter fiber? Crunchy peanut butter,
We
is that
ask her
fiber?
this
That's the
every
stupidest
time we
question
sneak
I
it in
know.
somehow.
I could live off of peanut butter chips and salsa. I mean,
Okay, so
not all together. Not all together.
peanut butter does have fiber in it, but not a lot. So if you say, how can I have more
Yes.
fiber? Is if you put it on celery. I mean, who's eating celery by itself? No one.
Correct.
But
I
it's
actually did.
stalked, right? It's stringy stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, and you have to chew through it, but it takes an effort, and then your jaw's exhausted. But that way, there's no calories in the celery. So the peanut butter goes for a longer period of time, and you feel fuller.
Okay. All right.
I'll do it. I'll have those
Listen.
ready for next week. You know where I was just going to say, you know what we should be doing is going to California Coffee for those bowls.
Yeah, they have these
Ama-
Acai Bowls.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
delicious.
So you start with
There's a little bit of
acai, and then you
chocolate.
put other things.
Acai,
Look how
yes.
well she
It's
corrected him.
Colin-
I
yeah.
had to learn the art of correction from Leslie Bonci.
My son's joke is about that, but yeah, the acai is there's chocolate on the top. There are strawberries.
Yeah,
there are
so
Just a little
blueberries.
bit.
So like the blueberries on the top, or
Leslie,
even
they
the
shave
oats.
chocolate. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
a ton. Yeah. It's
Yeah, just
like
shave.
for flavor.
So it's just
yeah.
enough for John to get that
but
feeling.
also, how big is the bowl? Because is the bowl a 5-quart bowl? Is the bowl a smaller?
Yeah, because
Is
I
it
read
petite,
it's
or is
high
it-
and.
It's like a typical like cereal bowl,
All
I
right,
guess.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But maybe
yeah.
we could split
I'll
it.
have to go check it out.
Yes, we'll meet you there.
Well,
meet-
yes, we're gonna take you there.
We will.
Yes.
It's a great
I
idea.
love
It's
it.
a great idea.
So
But going back real quickly, I don't want to jump subjects, but you know, part of what I think is important to mention when you guys watch tomorrow's Saffron and Sass is that you talk about the season of giving and the gift of health, which could sound hokey, but you hear her. She doesn't talk hokey. She talks in our way. And we talked about the importance of showing what the portions are, right? Like you say, oh, a handful of nuts, but a handful to me, it could be different.
Yeah, so not like one of my Kansas City Chiefs that has
Yeah.
a hand that looks like a mitt. It's like your hand on your body.
Yeah.
That's a handful.
Okay,
That's what we're
fabulous.
talking
Okay,
about. Yes.
there you go. So I love when someone can put it in perspective like that, because isn't it easy? How many times have we said, I'm just going to have one, and then you're like, 3 later, you didn't. You know, that's the hardest part.
But it's also not, I won't have any, because that makes us
Yes.
most unhappy when we
Right.
do that. You know, literally that gift of health is, how does it look? How does it smell? How does it taste? Does it have texture? Am I enjoying it? Am I sitting my behind on a chair to eat it? I mean, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, such a good point.
wow. Leslie,
Do you have your breakfast ready for tomorrow?
I don't, but I'm going. One thing is crazy is out of all the fruits and vegetables you should be eating, I love celery by itself. I actually do love celery by itself with just salt on it.
But I'm telling you, with
yeah,
the peanut
but
butter,
peanut butter. All right.
I think that's a
Try it.
great point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
going to do it. All right, so listen, this is somewhat shameless, but those of you on Facebook Live world, check it out tomorrow. We're obviously posting about it. It's going to grow. We loved what happened on the first session, but Saffron and Sass is just an old souls talking about the things that we need to talk about. Like she said, debunking some of these things and making sure that what we're talking about is normal day-to-day realistic stuff. We're not trying to tell you to starve yourself. We're learning as we go as well. So these are the people to learn from. So check it out tomorrow, and it will be on
Sprezzatura
Sprezzatura
Facebook page,
Facebook page. Yeah.
And yes, in all of these old souls, you know, I like the way
We
you kind
are
of said
old
oldest. Well,
souls.
trust
Yeah.
me, like oldest,
Right?
oldest soul. And actually, the new hashtag is fossil fuel. There we go. That's gonna be like a little T-Rex with Leslie's face on it.
I love that, Leslie.
we go.
And listen, you have to make sure you're following Leslie along with us, because she does the G-Chats and she is answering your questions. And I told you, a couple people have emailed us and said, hey, can you ask Leslie this? I forget what her email address is or something like that. But just so you know, for the G-Chat for next week, she is going to basically recap what happens on Saffron and Sass so that you can know what the gift of the new year is. It is health. The gift of the holiday season, it's your own health. So I think that's pretty cool. I have one quick question before we let you go, though. We work with university hospitals, and they had talked about something called holiday
heart, which is congestive heart failure due to all of the salt, all the eating, and
But correct. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't
No, go
mean to.
ahead.
But to interject, when I looked it up today, because I wanted to ask Leslie's point on it, they actually refer to it more from alcohol. They say that the holidays are the most common time for alcohol consumption, and your heart can't take that either. So is that a double thing?
Alcohol, actually, it is a toxin. I mean, it's something a lot of us feel like we can't live without, but too much of it is very, very stressful to the body. It's stressful to every organ of the body, not just the liver. So, yes, that can be a very big deal. The other thing about alcohol is because it increases appetite, right? So people are then eating
great point, yeah.
more as a result, and like, oh, I'm at a bar and I'm doing the snacky things, and oh, I'll have 5 drinks, and then I'm doing more snacky things, and on it goes. So, and then we also know that, when is that the biggest rate for stroke and heart attack? It's late night, early morning, and people aren't always drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning, but at 10 o'clock at night, yes. So, yeah,
Interesting,
be
yeah.
about
So
it.
please be careful. Yeah, it is such a
Please
thing.
be careful about it.
Yeah.
This is the shot. A shot
Right.
is not a fifth.
Yes.
It's not an entire bottle of wine. It's a glass. It's actually about this size.
And it's not the time to go do that and then find out it snows and go out and shovel the driveway. Really bad health.
Really bad.
Yeah, really bad.
This is my partner.
All right,
God
cool.
love him. All right,
All
question
right.
of the day, Leslie. You heard it. There's 2 layers. Are you an artificial or a real treer?
Oh, real.
Real.
Always
yeah.
real. Yes.
I was real up until this year. I think I'm ready to go artificial. Okay. Are you a Yinzer decorator or an elegant? Elegant.
A sassy disc. No, actually, I don't. Fred does, and he does a wonderful job. We have ornaments that we've collected for years.
Oh,
and
really?
years and
Okay.
years.
So it's
And
not
it
all
is
one
just-
color. It's, just all white, all red.
Surprises me.
All
Yeah.
about color. All of the time. We did one tree one year where we did old fashioned with the cranberries and with the popcorn.
Ooh.
Nobody told us you have to let the popcorn get stale. Let me tell you, there was a lot of potty mouth going around and the popcorn is like flying all over. The birds were like the size of houses because they were eating all the popcorn.
I love that Leslie Bonci makes mistakes. Can we just say that? I love
the
it.
birds in the neighborhood were so happy.
Hey, come
You're
on
like,
over to the
wow,
birds.
we need
The
a
Bonci birds
Yeah, we need
loved
a
it.
bird treadmill. That's
Leslie,
funny.
thank you so much. We'll find out from Tracy. We know that you're going to be on again in the beginning of the year, but definitely before we have her on, make sure you check out Saffron and Sass tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
You're
That was
welcome.
awesome.
Nice, thank you,
She's
thank
the
you.
best.
So
and with perfect timing, we actually have
exactly.
Katelyn.
So
that's
once again,
perfect.
as you're watching Facebook Live, we are at Old Economy Village.
John O'Evie.
Yes.
John.
And
You
I
down
wish
with
I was hip enough. I
OEV?
wish I was
Yeah,
hip
you
enough to
know
do
me.
that.
I'm not hip. I just
No,
say
you're hip.
things.
You're a cool mom. You
I,
have
well,
shirts that
I have
say
the
so.
sweatshirt that says "Cool Mom."
And so you have to come down here, up here. It's Swickley
Up, down,
area.
on
Around
over,
Ambridge
Katelyn.
area. Caitlin, come on in here. There
How
you go.
are you? Perfect timing.
You have your typical old
Garb.
economy walkie-talkie.
Oh, yes.
Right, just like they did, just like they summoned the horses from in the carriages in the old days. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much for having us. The non-SANTA was fantastic. We talked to him, and he gave us quite the history lesson. So we
Awesome.
appreciate that.
Good.
So
and
just so
we
people-
both ended up on the good list.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
you
it
guys
was
did?
on
Oh.
Facebook Live. It was kind of nerve-wracking,
Oh,
to be
that is
honest with you.
stressful.
Yeah. Everybody loves John, Katelyn, so they all thought he was so wonderful and nice, and not me. But give us just kind of a synopsis of, here we are in the middle of December. How much longer are you open? Give us the non-SANTA wasn't sure, so you have to let us know. Like, when can people come? When are visiting times? All that good stuff.
So we're usually open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we are open until the day after Christmas. So we're closed
okay.
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Our last day open is the 26th. And we will
Okay.
reopen, I believe, in March, middle of March.
Yeah, that's what
So,
he was saying,
yeah.
springtime. Okay. And then for that, it's more history lessons. You do a lot with schools and things like that, but you're open for people to just come tour, correct?
Yes, we have a lot of self-guided areas here. So if people just want to come and chill in the garden or see some of the self-guided buildings, they are more than welcome to. Other than that, we do offer 2 different tours through a couple different buildings.
Okay. Fantastic.
And so when you come here, is like the building that we're sitting in now, is it an original building, or is how much of this is original?
Most of it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, huh?
It's so cool that they lasted this long and we were able
Yes.
to preserve this part of our history.
Yes.
Considering it's so interesting and it was very influential through the area.
Now you're very young. What interested you in coming to work here like this? Because I find it fascinating.
Part of it was the first job I got outside of college.
I love your
right
honesty,
there. Stop
Katelyn.
right there.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
What? Yeah.
Slippery Rock University,
Yeah.
home of North Country Brewing, which
Yes.
brews the YaJagoff beer. So we're like
So
buds
you're
already,
hearing it
right?
here. OEV is carrying a Jagoff beer. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
But other than that, I like history. I think it's
Okay.
very fascinating. I think it's
Yeah.
important to learn
It's
too.
important, yeah.
So we don't repeat some of our mistakes, and it's good to carry on some traditions and see where we came from and how far we've come from that time. So I love the history here very much. So I think it's very important to know your local history and see where you came from, essentially.
Yeah.
And the great part is, obviously, judging just by today, people love it too, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's a very, like, I would say almost a hidden gem in Beaver County.
Yes.
You don't realize how much history this place has, and then you come here and you're like, there's so much more to Beaver County than what just meets the eye.
Well, I didn't even know we were in Beaver, but apparently we're in Beaver County. But I thought the cool part was, and I said it at the beginning, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. I actually mean it from the heart. There's so many Pittsburgh traditions, right? People go to the nationality rooms, or they go to see the Santas, and where do they have it on display downtown? Or they go to Market Square for the
PPG
People's
Place.
Gas. Yeah. But this is a tradition. This is something that people could start, and it is something they don't always know about. So I think they should.
Yeah, and we also have, like, there are days where we have people who are descended from some people who came here originally come in.
Oh,
and they get
wow.
to explore their history a bit more and see who they came from. And it extends so far. You don't realize how much this one little place in Beaver County touches so many other people.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So leave Allegheny County. It's about 3 minutes from the border, I think.
We're not that far from Allegheny County, I promise.
John?
Yeah,
John,
you're
how many
literally
minutes are we from
you're literally a thin line over according to the map.
Yeah.
But and the connection here to what happens up in Harmony, PA, is really kind of significant.
Yeah.
It's almost like you should try to do these two things in a day.
Oh, yeah, that's
to
a good
kind of
point.
stay within the realm, right?
Yeah, they settled up there first, and then after being in Harmony, PA, they moved to Harmony, Indiana, and then they came back here and settled here last.
Oh,
So
get
these
out.
areas are all connected, and the really cool thing about Harmony is, so when you look at the architecture, you'll notice that the typical brick. Here, you'll notice extensions on the houses because as people aged, they got older, so they added extensions for bedrooms downstairs. So you can see that almost like the timeline of aging.
Oh,
through
wow.
The
wow.
That was the original mother-in-law suite. It all happened here. I love it. Okay, so I hear something back there. Should I safely assume that the person who is going to introduce us to the Bode, say it, John.
The Bode Sultry.
Sultry.
Sultry,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
she is coming in to perform for you guys.
I'm so
Great.
excited.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, awesome.
But that's
Well, thank
what
you
are we
so
hearing in the background? A harmonica.
No, that
No.
is the Bode Sultry.
That is
the
the
Bode
Bode
Sultry,
That is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
I
anything.
quit. I
no,
just
that doesn't
quit.
even sound like anything like a harp.
I said it was shaped like.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's a
wow.
very cool instrument.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
seriously-
All right. Cool.
Yeah, if you don't
Cool.
mind. Thank you so much,
No
Caitlin.
problem.
We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being here.
Now, before we let you go, you get the astounding question of the day.
Okay.
Are you an artificial tree person or a real tree person?
I'm a real tree person
Okay.
through and through. There is nothing better than walking into your house and just getting hit in the face with pine trees.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Oh,
the best.
that is so true.
Absolute
I love
best.
You can also light a candle and put up your fake. I just gotta tell you,
You could, but it's not the same.
It's not the same. You're right. And then, do you like Yinzerize it with tons of ornaments, or are you kind of a pretty
we are
decorator?
Tons of ornaments
Yeah.
family. Every year we go out and get a new ornament for the year.
Oh, I like
So,
that.
Yeah, it's a big family tradition.
What's
to go-
this year's, or you don't know yet?
I bought a little mushroom ornament.
Cute.
It's already on the tree.
There you
Nice.
go. I
Nice.
love it. Well, thank you so much.
That's
we
awesome.
get to hear
Yeah.
the not harp, not harmonica,
Right.
sultry.
The Bode
Bode
Sultry.
Sultry.
Yeah.
Right.
Tracy was like, listen, this is what your musician is playing. I Googled it. You better. So that was so helpful.
Cool.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Caitlin.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're gonna listen to this music. I'm pretty excited. Are we going? Is she coming up here? I guess. Is Colin bringing her? I don't know. Do you know, John?
I don't know. So Facebook Live, we have one more piece here to entertain you. You see people coming in and out of Old Economy Village. And
We just weren't sure if we were moving up there or
Yeah.
she was coming down here, but looks like he's bringing
we
her
did
in.
move today once, and it worked out pretty well, we think. All right.
Look at it.
Okay. All
See,
right.
It's shaped like a heart. Hi there. How are you?
Right here, sit right here if you don't mind.
Fabulous. We love this. So John wasn't sure that was you who was playing. He's like, "Oh, we love it. That's such a great sound." When we looked it up online, it said it like see how it's sort of harp-like, John?
Yes. I see
Yeah.
it. So like it's kind of a zither. It's kind of like a violin, a harp, all in one. It looks like here.
Rolled into one, and someone just said it sounded like a harmonica. So it does.
I did.
Yeah,
That was me.
yeah.
That was my stupid comment.
harmonica. It's
Let's
not
see.
stupid.
Here you go. You can have that.
Oh, okay.
All right. Cool. So tell us a little bit. First of all, what is your name again?
Hi, I'm Diane Yorkshire.
All right. And Diane, how long have you been playing this Bode Sultry?
Not that long. I discovered it a couple of years ago, and I had someone make it for me. Actually, if I don't know, can you see anything?
Well, on Facebook we can see it, but when you're listening to the podcast, you know what it looks like? It looks like one of those games you used to do, the pegs.
Oh my gosh, with the balls.
Right.
Yes.
And you need to jump the pegs over, but there are strings.
Even think about
Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill you.
But there are strings on it. It's triangular, and there's Donald, and so it's in a way it's kind of like a guitar. Like the wide end of it is where the strings are based, and then it strings up through other
you
pegs.
Would tune it like you would tune a guitar.
Okay.
Pegs. But there are 22 strings on this instrument, and you have to tune them all individually.
How did you hear about the instrument?
I saw it. I saw a guitar maker who had one, and he showed me how to play it. And it actually is not that difficult to play.
Okay.
I know it looks like a violin, but the notes are set up like a piano keyboard. So every one of these, and this is piano wire actually. Let me just bow it. And see, it's hard to play upside down right now.
That's
okay. With a violin bow, but you tune each one. It's like a keyboard. However, I play the piano, and I thought, oh, this will be a cinch. Not at all, because as you play the piano, as you go higher up on the keyboard, it's higher and higher notes. It's the opposite here. See, I'm playing backwards from a piano. And these are the accidentals. These would be the black keys here.
Okay.
So you play the size of this instrument. You can't play across like a violin. It would sound horrible.
Yeah.
And you don't have 22 fingers that you
Right.
to make the sounds. So, yeah, it is a little different. If you're looking at music, and you want to play a song, you turn it upside down and read it backwards.
Just
Love
want a
it.
microphone
so
real
is
close
there
to
a
your
song
mouth.
that you
There
can
go.
do?
There
You're
you go.
fine. Is there a song that you can do for us?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Now, do you sing too, or should we?
You know, I do sing. I'm a singer, actually, but I don't sing and play at the same time.
Okay,
It's too
all
hard
right.
to do
That's
that.
it. Look, I was going to say it looked pretty
Talking
hard.
and
So
chewing gum,
we
it just doesn't work.
we will now. Is this instrument part of the history? What they used to play back in, or this is just sort of an added value?
It's an old instrument. I
Okay.
mean, don't get me wrong. I don't believe it's in the zither family.
Yes, okay.
I don't believe they
Okay.
play this here. I know I've seen mandolins and guitars
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
things like that.
All right.
pianos.
So right now you're going to play Michael Jackson's "Man in the
listen.
Mirror."
I don't
Just so
think
you know, it was introduced in the 20th century when the instrument was recreated from medieval drawings.
Right.
Boom! Who did
Medieval.
their work?
Boy, you know your stuff.
Who did their
girl.
work? This girl.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can
That
clap
was
here.
beautiful.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love that.
Look, you created an audience
Oh
here.
my goodness. It takes such focus.
Following.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. We appreciate the explanation. Awesome. And that concludes the YaJagoff podcast for today.
Yeah, so we have
we're
to
so
thank-
grateful.
Well, first of all, thank you for bringing your instrument here. So are you here all weekend? Like we could be like, 2 shows Friday,
all
2 shows
weekend,
Saturday
people.
kind of thing?
I'm a spinner here at Old Economy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Once a year they let me.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you to Katie for putting this all together with Tracy. Thank you to Colin in the background. Thank you to John Craig Media for coming out. And thanks to non-SANTA.
And Leslie Bonci. We couldn't do this without her. I said she's taking over for me. And thank you, as always, to, of course, Tracy and Colin, but to Rohrich Honda, because Rohrich Honda houses a mega inventory of pre-owned certified cars. But like Christmas coming, the dealership in Bloomfield just received a few new cars, including
CRVs, passports, and more. Visit Rohrich.com for all of your vehicle needs and car deals. And we have to don't forget about People's Gas. Put some jolly back into your holiday shopping at People's Gas Holiday Market down in Market Square.
And it's now through December 23rd in Market Square, and details are at peoples-gas.com/holidays. Boom. That was
Thanks,
the YaJagoff
everybody.
podcast. Have a good rest of your week.